What are you looking at, butthead?
All right, so this is my review for Taken 2 from 2012. I was in the mood for a bit more of like an action type movie, and I was going to throw on Liam Neeson's more recent Taken style movie, a nonstop. But then I was like, I'll go back and watch the Taken 2 since I never actually watched it. I'd just seen the first one. So, like I said, this is 2002, 2 years ago. It was directed by Olivier Megatron. He has been working with Luc Besson quite a bit, so he directed this, and then Columbiana and Transporter 3. Those were also movies that were written by Luc Besson. And Luc Besson, I think he directed the first Taken. No, he didn't. But he's kind of been working on these franchises, so all the Taken movies, Luc Besson's been writing those, and the Transporter movies. Kind of got back into directing recently with Lucy and The Family before that. But anyways, so directed by Olivier Megatron and written again by Luc Besson. And this story is pretty straightforward for this one. So obviously, I guess you don't necessarily need to see the first one, but it gives you a little bit of backstory on this one. So Liam Neeson plays Brian Mills again, former CIA operative. He's got a certain set of skills. He can find you really easily and kill you. And so he's back in the United States. He's with his has a better relationship with his daughter now. Kim, played again by Maggie Grace, and he's hanging out with her a bit more. And for some reason, they keep her in high school, and Maggie Grace as an actress was semi-popular when the first one came out. She was in the show Lost, and I'd seen her a couple movies, and then recently she's been in Californication and some other shows. And so I thought it was just really weird that they kept her in high school. She's trying to get her driver's license, so you can kind of tell she's still young, and she was really young in the first one, but as an actress, she's quite a bit older, Maggie Grace is. So I thought that was kind of weird. They could have at least put her in college. I thought that was kind of something simple that they could have done, but no, they wanted to keep her young for some reason. But anyways, so this time the story revolves around the family of all the people that Brian Mills killed in the first movie. So, spoilers for the first one, Kim got taken, and they're in France, and Brian goes and finds her and hunts down all the people that have taken her, and kills a bunch of people in the process. And so this one starts out right away. Some of the family members of those people seek revenge on Brian. So that's what they do. And Brian is on York Security still, and he's on a mission or on a job in Istanbul. And he tells Kim and Lenore, played again by Famke Janssen, that if they want to, they can come and visit him because they had a trip planned that got squashed, and if they wanted to, they could come visit him. So they take him up on it, and so they're there with him, and then that's when the bad guys' plan kind of gets kicked into action. They want to take the whole family, so they're there to get everybody. And there's not much to it after that, so this time, though, for a while, Brian and Lenore get taken, and Kim is the one that kind of gets away, and she has to help Brian to escape, and then they kind of work together in a fashion to get the mom out, Lenore. So it's a little bit of different, a little spin on it. I guess I should mention the guy that plays the main bad guy is the father of some of the guys from the main bad guy from the first one. So he plays his father. It's played by Raid Surbergia. Probably saying that wrong. Raid Surbergia. You probably recognize him. He's very familiar. Usually plays a Russian. He's got a big beard. He's in Shooter. He was in Eyes Wide Shut. Snatch. He was Boris the Blade. He's a good actor, good character actor. Usually playing some sort of a foreigner. But anyways, he's the main bad guy that's on this mission to find Brian and his family. So yeah, that's the basic plot. Not a lot to it. I didn't think when I was watching, it was going to be a super in-depth plot or super complex or anything like that, and it wasn't. So I thought, unfortunately, one of the things that was missing in this movie that was really good in the first one is that there's no mystery or any sort of intrigue about the kidnappers and who they are. So in the first one, you don't really know who this group is that kidnapped her, and as Brian starts to figure out who they are, we're learning along with them. And then, there's a lot of plots about who they're being sold to, the women. So there's that whole plot line, the mystery part of it. And that's absent here, which is pretty unfortunate because you know right away who they are at the beginning. And they're just going to try to kidnap them, and that's about it, Just kind of lessens the stakes of what's going on, kind of. But, so yeah, that's kind of an unfortunate turn in this one. There was one good scene that I liked. I heard it mentioned before in some reviews, is when Brian needs to figure out where he is within the city when they kidnapped him. And so he can kind of tell Kim, I guess, where he is, and then she could tell authorities. And one of the ways he tries to have her help him is he tells her to start throwing grenades out the window. And it's really funny, so he can hear, he has an idea of where he is, but then she can throw the grenades and he hears them, and then he can kind of pinpoint a little more. And it's a pretty clever idea, but just I think the funniest part is the way that Maggie Grace is doing it. The first one, she just chucks this grenade, throws it across, into a parking lot, and it happens to roll under a car and blows up a car. That was really funny. And then she just keeps doing it. I think there was one or two more, just kind of funny. Just chucking grenades in the middle of Istanbul. This was funny. I wrote down on my notes, she's chucking grenades like a boss. So that was pretty funny. Yeah, and again, I think they could have made Kim older. I don't know why. I guess, it's kind of weird too, because I think one of the plot holes, or one of the weird aspects of it, is there's a whole driving chase sequence, a car chase scene, and it's Kim that's driving. And we know from the beginning she failed her driving test, so she doesn't have a license. And then they show her, and she's driving Matt Damon in The Bourne Supremacy. She's driving these cars like Jason Bourne, and she's driving a stick shift. And they make it clear multiple times. They show her feet clutching and shifting gears, and she's just tearing it up in Istanbul. All these streets, just driving all over the place, like a mad woman, I guess. And she's just killing it. She's doing really good. This is the same girl that failed her driving test, and she's just somehow a super expert at driving stick shift. I thought that was kind of funny, because they never mentioned at all at the beginning that she was learning on a manual transmission or anything. They just, you think they would have mentioned that if they made it a point that she's so good at it later. I just thought it was funny, because it's very obvious that she's driving a manual, and she's really good at it. But anyways, then one of the plot holes are just kind of a weird story thing. They get into the U.S. Embassy, and they're worried about getting out of their car. They don't want to get shot or attacked by the U.S. soldiers, and edit to Brian's just off somewhere else trying to find these guys. It was kind of a quick edit. That was just kind of weird. But anyways, giving it a 2.5 out of 5. It's okay. I didn't have great expectations, and it's about what I expected. It's a decent action movie. But, you're not missing anything if you don't watch it. Just go back and watch the first one. Or if you haven't seen the first one, I'll just say you watch the first one, and you don't really need to follow it up with this one. So it's okay. Oh, actually, I guess I would recommend maybe checking out Non-Stop, which is Liam Neeson being a badass on a plane. So I should have just watched that instead. So that's my recommendation. Watch Non-Stop instead. And one other thing I might start doing is just making a comment on the trailer that I post. So I usually post a trailer on my blog. You might be watching this just on YouTube. But on my blog, I post the trailer. And I just kind of want to comment onto whether or not it's accurate, or an accurate depiction of the movie, because it's really easy to make a good trailer, but usually it doesn't always have to be a good representation of the movie. But this trailer that I'm posting, and I think most of the trailers for this, I usually just watch the first trailer for movies. I don't like to watch too many because I think they kind of give away too much of the plot after a while. But the trailer of this one, I think, is just a good representation of what you'll see in the movie. I think the music's a little bit slow, but overall, what you see in the trailer is what you're going to get in the movie, and not much more. So yeah, I guess that's it. Unfortunately, Liam Neeson doesn't repeat any of his classic lines from the first movie, but so yeah, I can't say anything good, but I will find you.